Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. In today's video we are going to be comparing two foundations to each other, which I have both previously used but never noticed how similar their claims are up until now. One of them is going to be the Lancome Teint Idole. I hope I didn't butcher the name. This foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation that is made to be long wear but natural looking, good for oily skin. And I have used this one before and I did really like it, but I didn't find it as mattifying as it claims to be, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I don't actually really like matte foundations. I found that if a foundation is matte, it's probably gonna look cakey and it's probably going to start cracking and separating, and I just don't really like that. Now the foundation we're going to be comparing it to is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. The first thing I noticed, and the reason I started looking into the two more, is because the packaging looks really similar and they both mention 24 hours on the packaging. And another thing that probably most of you know is that they are both L'Oreal owned brands, meaning that they probably share most of the technology and the production behind the products, because these big companies normally produce all of the makeup in the same factory and just put them in different packaging. I have the Lancome foundation in the shade 007 Beige Rosé, which is my absolute perfect match in the winter time. This is the most pink foundation I have ever seen on the market. Whilst I have the Maybelline Superstay foundation in the shade 21 Nude Beige. Now this one is far from being a perfect match for me. It is quite neutral for my skin tone, which does help to cancel out the redness in my skin, but it also washes me out a little bit and it's just too dark for me most of the time. So I normally mix this in with some other foundation because I do like the coverage and the staying power of this one, but the color is not a perfect match. So what you probably already figured out from all that is that the two colors are completely different. So we are gonna do a half comparison, but I got a feeling it's gonna look ridiculous. We're gonna do it anyway. It's just the fact that from the Maybelline foundation I don't have a perfect match. I don't know how is it over in the USA. I think they have more shades available there, but here in the UK this foundation doesn't really have a lot of shades available. Yeah, we're still gonna do a half comparison and I'm gonna leave them on to see how they look in a couple of hours. I'm just hoping that once I put on my setting powder, my contour, my bronzer, that's gonna even out the two halves of the face. Okay, so as you can see, I'm ready for the application, but before we start applying it, let me just read you quickly what they both claim on their website. So I'm gonna go on Maybelline's and Lancome's own website and read you their claims. Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear is now available in 45 shades, making it easier than ever to find your perfect shade match. This liquid foundation is long-lasting and provides full coverage without feeling cakey, leaving skin feeling comfortable all day. With great staying power, our 24-hour foundation allows you to go out and be your best without needing to retouch on the go. Teint Idole Ultra Wear is transfer-free and smudge-free, giving you confidence to carry on with your day and maximize your power. What makes the difference? Eternal Soft Polymer allows increased comfort level with ultra long wear, NAI pigments, specially coated pigments, maintain consistent pH level with skin so color stays true all day. Perlite and silica, two of the most effective oil absorbing ingredients. And they actually claim that this is the perfect foundation for a wedding. Now I have my own wedding coming up soon, so I was really thinking to wear the NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation, but if this is gonna hold up nice, then I might just wear this one instead. I last time used this foundation about 3 years ago, so to be honest with you, I don't really remember how it performs. I just remember that after 8 hours at work, I was getting a bit oily by the end of the day, and I didn't really like that, but times change, skin change, so we see how it looks now. So now let's go through what Maybelline says about the Superstay foundation. What it is: a winner of Allure's Best of Beauty Award, the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation Makeup delivers 24-hour wear for concentrated coverage and a flawless finish that doesn't fade or shift all day. Benefits: be your own professional makeup artist with Maybelline's Full Coverage 24-hour foundation. Saturated color pigments provide an ultra-transforming effect with this long-lasting foundation. The lightweight yet high-impact coverage formula glides into the skin for a flawless makeup finish that lasts all day. Oil-free, doesn't clog pores, dermatologist tested. The reason I personally think that they are similar is because, like I said, they're both L'Oreal owned, they both claim to be long-lasting, they both mention the word 24 hours and ultra, they're both full coverage, and I just get the vibe that the Superstay is gonna be a simplified version of the Lancome one, but to make sure we need to test that out. I have my beauty blender wet already, so we are good to go. And as always, I'm gonna put the cheaper one on this side of the face, which is today gonna be the Maybelline Superstay foundation, and I'm gonna put the more expensive one on this side of the face, which is today gonna be the Lancome one. And I'm gonna start with the cheaper one simply because this is not the first time I use this foundation on my channel. This is 1 pump of product, and it's actually quite a good match for me in the summertime, but definitely not perfect. This is more of a neutral shade. It has a little bit of pinkness to it, but not as much as my skin does. So that's 1 pump of the product on half of the face. As you can probably tell, I look more matte than I did before, but you can still see a little bit of a glow to the skin, which is quite nice. This is the type of foundation I enjoy, when the foundation is matte and long wearing but lets your natural glow show through and looks a bit more natural. I might be the only person on the planet who doesn't like the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Foundation, but for me that one looks just horrible on me. It looks so cakey. I much prefer something like this. Okay, so because this one is clearly not done yet, I'm gonna go back with the second layer. Like I said before, we are gonna go and use some concealer and contour on top of this. So like I said before, once I finished applying this, I'm gonna go back with some concealer, setting powder, contour, bronzer, all that. So whatever the color is now is not what the final color is going to be. It's gonna be nicely balanced out. So anyway, that is 2 layers of this foundation. So the Lancome one definitely feels a little bit more runny than the Maybelline one did. It also has a really nice smell, As you can tell, the color is a little bit light for me. At the time of filming this, we are at the beginning of May, and obviously we had some sunny days and my skin is more tanned than it would be in the winter time. So this foundation is not my perfect match anymore. But as I said before, it would be absolutely perfect for me in the winter time. To be honest, even now, once I blend it out, it looks like I'm not wearing any foundation. And not on a bad way. I think I might need 3 pumps of this for a full coverage. Also, I know some people don't like when their makeup smell like anything because fragrance in the products can sometimes trigger an allergic reaction, but I do enjoy fragrance in my products. I find that it makes it feel even more luxurious. So that is 2 layers of the Lancome foundation. I'm trying to avoid saying the name because I don't speak French and I don't know how to say it correctly. So far I'm only looking at the color, and this one is a really good color match for me. Like I said, it would be a better match if it was the winter time and I wasn't tanned at all, but regardless, it still looks very similar to my skin tone. So now I'm gonna give you my opinion of both foundations so far without setting them and altering them in any possible way. So starting with the Maybelline one, it looks really nice and matte, but it lets some shine through, which is, like I said before, really, really nice. It didn't sink into any lines, which, considering that I haven't set it yet, is a really good thing. I don't feel like it emphasized any of my pores, but I feel like in dry areas like around my mouth and around my nose, it did emphasize that dryness a little bit, which is understandable because it is a quite matte foundation. Okay, now let's talk about the Lancome one. So the Lancome one is quite obviously a lighter shade and a less yellow shade than the Maybelline one. The only thing I noticed is that the Lancome side is more shiny, like here and in the center of the forehead, and also has less coverage. Like I said, I needed 2 pumps here and I needed 3 pumps here, and I still feel like some of my redness is peeking through, but that could be because this one is a more pigmented, darker foundation, so obviously a darker foundation will cover up more than a lighter color would. Other than that, I feel like they look really, really similar. Now I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna finish off my base, and then I'm gonna be back to show you and tell you how it looks with your base makeup finished. Okay guys, so I'm back. As you can see, I finished applying a full face of makeup. So first of all, I think that the Superstay side still looks more matte, and I still feel, even after applying setting powder, that in this area my pores on the Lancome side are quite enlarged. Other than that, none of them settled in any fine lines. None of them looks dry. So yeah, I think they are super, super similar. Like I said, it's really possible that they are created in the same factory. The Lancome one smells better, has an amazing color range, and I also feel like it just feels more lightweight. But if you're on a budget, the Superstay is a really, really good dupe. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I have tons of other makeup related videos coming, and I will also start doing skincare. So hit the ring button to make sure you don't miss out on them, and I will see you next time. Bye.